Oh, okay. No, thank you. Thank you for the answer. I just wanted clarity on that information. So it's clear now that the first information was about accused 1 and 2. Then let's move on to paragraph 16 now on the 13th November 2019.
On the 13th November 2019, I met with Brigadier at the Kempton Park. He was in the company of Brigadier Tony, who he has identified, whom he identified him as his colleague, because it was clear that the officers were doing investigation on the information I gave. I was also asked to identify one of my parents or senior relatives who can confirm my relation with the suspect, as I have indicated that I come from the same area with them. I identify my father as the person who can confirm my relationship with the suspect. Subsequent to my meeting with the two officers, I met General Shabane, who asked me how did the meeting go. I informed him that I decided to tell Brigadier all the information I have about the matter of Meyiwa, despite his warning that I should not share the information with the Brigadier. I could see that the General was not happy about my response. As I've said, you need to take the flow as where we're coming from. It's in relation to the first visit. Subsequent to that visit, efforts are made to find his father. We meet later in the year with Brigadier Perumalu, ask him questions, but it's a follow-up of what he already gave me. So the information he's referring to is what he gave me. That didn't change my lot until such time when I obtained statement from Sifiso Zungu, subsequently Makosonke, and then his name cropped up. That's when I went back to him and said, you were present at Basutino Hostel. You didn't disclose this part. Out of that engagement, my lord, that's what led to this statement being made, and the reasons given to him that he was scared, and he gave me the reasons, my lord, as to what happened. Some of the reasons that have been read here, you know, the reservation, why he was scared and how he was treated with the police. But at this stage, on the 13th of November, none of the information came from him in relation to this statement. It was insofar as the follow-up of his father, and then subsequently the meeting took place on the 17th of November, my lord.
I think I get Mshololo's tactic. It might have taken me a bit longer to get here, but I get Mshololo's tactic, and it is definitely to paraphrase, repeat, and get the brigadier to really break things down exactly how they happen. And we can hear that the brigadier, if you listen to his tone of voice, you can hear a sense of frustration in his voice that, listen, I keep telling you this. Why am I saying this over and over and over again? So now she has him read what happened, okay, in paragraph 16. And paragraph 16 of Zungu's statement talks about the 13th of November 2019. And on the 13th of November 2019, in the statement, it's Gininda and Brigadier Tony, who is Brigadier Peruman, over there at the Kempton Park. And in this meeting, he is Gininda asked him, one of your parents or a senior person in the family has to come to confirm your relationship with accused number 1. So let me take you back to what relationship they're referring to. This is where he is saying Muzivia's brothers are threatening him. So there's a relationship between Uzungu and Umuzisibia, and apparently Muzisibia is saying stop talking about this issue, and then there are threats that are going on. That's just a high-level summary of why there's a reference to relatives. Zungu is, of course, saying that he's from the same area and he is related with accused number 1, and there is that fear that he has of retaliation. So yeah, that's the part. But the part I really, really want to talk about from paragraph 16, and I think Mshololo did this on purpose, and she did it on purpose to have the brigadier read the statement into the record, and he does, okay? Funda Temba Funda, okay? And he says, I identified my father subsequently to my meeting with the two officers. I met General Leshavane, who asked, how did the meeting go? The word I've highlighted there is subsequently. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think Zungu said subsequently? And it gives the illusion, okay, that Zungu did not write this statement. This statement is being written by Brigadier Nicholas Bongani Gininda, who happens, okay, coincidentally, is the one who commissioned this statement, or should I say, is the one who took this statement. Therefore, what I imagine happened, because as you know, this statement was taken last year, but they're talking about what happened in November 2019. Are you still with me? Are you still with me? Okay. It's a long story, but I'm trying to make sure I don't leave out the crucial details, okay? Brigadier Gininda, this happened last year. It's Zungu and Gininda sitting down together to write this statement, and trial has already begun. And then he's bringing up this whole thing, and then he uses the word subsequently. The word subsequently for me is screaming, okay? It's screaming out of the screen, because I don't know. I'm not undermining Zungu that he wouldn't use the word subsequently. I'm saying the only time we have ever heard that word from the entire time this court session has started, and someone who uses that word over and over and over again is none other than Gininda. So, is it far-fetched to think Gininda did type out the statement in his words, even though Skhumbuzo Zungu, Sizwe Zungu, I don't know why I keep saying Sfiso, Sizwe Zungu was there with him, allegedly giving this statement? I don't know, but I definitely want to hear what your thoughts are on that. And you know what? Let's talk about it more in the comment section down below, because, subsequently, I could be wrong. But let's continue listening on and hear where else Shololo stirs this ship.
So, in essence, my lord, the statement would have been taken from him if he gave a direct information implicating the accused. So, as I said, it was a follow-up of the father, and on that day, the 13th of November, a follow-up meeting was arranged for the 17th of November, and indeed, it is him. What is paramount, my lord, in this whole thing is that it is Constable Zungu who came to the office of the National Commissioner on his own. So, for me, there was interest for him to sit as he stand, because he's the one who came. No one pushed him. He came on his own when I first met him. The second meeting, we met him with Brigadier Perumal. He was still cooperative. Third meeting, where he brought the father, it is him who brought the father to the office of the National Commissioner. And then subsequently, when then his name came up and he was confronted, he then gave reasons. I had no reason to doubt him. And then he said, look, let me tell you the truth of what I recall. And then the statement was taken, my lord.
Thank you, Brigadier. I just wanted to get clarity to say, if Constable Zungu says, I gave all the information at my disposal, but that information at his disposal at that stage did not include the information about accused number 5 being a suspect in this matter.
No, my lord. You see, that's why I said, you see, this is a danger now of trying to interpret someone's statement, because now it's Constable Zungu who said this, my lord. Nowhere in my meeting, my lord, did he even include accused number 3, not only 5, 3, 4, 5. It was at the later stage where he brought him in. I'm indicating the chain of events and what I understood up to the time when the father's statement was taken, my lord.
Okay. Besides telling you about the elders or his father and those senior relatives who can confirm the relationship with the suspects, did Constable Zungu tell you anything about Gwabini and Makosonke?
I don't recall, my lord. As I'm saying, my lord, the meeting was about the follow-up of his father. That was the topic. That was the purpose of the meeting. That was it. It wasn't about who did what, who was. It was simply the fact that he then said, I've managed to convince my father. We can then meet my father, and subsequent to that, the meeting was arranged. Brigadier Perumal, because it was the first time he met him, asked him some few questions in terms of the knowledge that he had, and I think that's what he's referring to. But it was a passage, a way through to his father.
Do I also understand it correctly, Brigadier, to say in your meeting or in your engagement with Constable Zungu as per paragraph 15, which was the first time, and also on the 13th of November, which was the second time, Constable Zungu never mentioned suspect number 5, accused number 5 as the suspect on these two interviews or consultation or engagement?
My lord, the engagements were about the father, as I've indicated. The information he received from his father, and he was bringing that information to us, my lord.
Okay. Then let's move on to paragraph 17, Brigadier.
On the 18th November 2019, around 07:13, I walked to the spaza shop in my area at Tembisa. I noticed a silver brown Corolla parked a few meters away to the place of my residence. As I was passing by the vehicle, I saw these 3 occupants, whom one is known to me as Nkazimulo Ntuli, who is related to Muzisibiya and Nkani Sifokuhle Ntuli. I managed to see Nkazimulo because he was sitting at the back and the window where he was seated was open. I proceeded to the shop and bought a cigarette. When I walked back from the shop, as I was passing by the same vehicle, Nkazumulo extended his hand holding a firearm and pointed it towards my direction. The firearm was a pistol, black in color. I could see he was trying to aim and shoot at me, and I started to run away towards the direction of the shop and jumped into people's yard until I got home. I was not in possession of my service pistol. I went home and took my pistol. When I went out to confront them, the vehicle was no longer there.
If I haven't already mentioned it yet, I definitely like what is going on here. Shololo has the brigadier reading the statement into the record, and she has him reading paragraph by paragraph. So they're breaking things down paragraph by paragraph. So she's stripping, okay, to the bare minimum. Stripping the words before you come for me in the comment section. So she is stripping to the bare minimum, okay, the context, and anytime she has a question, it's from that specific paragraph. Now in this paragraph 17, the brigadier is reading, this is the statement again of Constable Zungu, and the brigadier is reading that, it was the 18th of November 2019 at 7:13 around about in the morning, and Constable Zungu was just going to the spaza shop, okay, in his area over there at Tembisa, and there was a silver brown Corolla. What color is silver brown, guys? That's just a me question. What color is that? Is it like a metallic? Is it like a gold? It's like a gold, right? I think that's what it is. Okay, I can picture it now. And this Corolla was parked next to his residence, okay? And as he passed the vehicle, he saw the three occupants, and one of them was Nkazimulo Ntuli. Nkazimulo Ntuli, this is where I'm like, is the relative to who? Umuzi Sivia, as well as Unkani Fisoguhle Ntuli. Now, why is it that when the accused are giving their versions, we haven't heard accused number 5 say he is related to accused number 1? What we do know is accused number 4 is the uncle of accused number 1. Let me know in the comment section if I'm mixing these up, but I believe it's accused number 4 who is the uncle to accused number 1. Now, we know that accused number 4 and accused number 5 did not know each other until they met that day at the until they met that Saturday on the 14th Sunday on the 14th of October 2014. But accused number 3 and 4 are best friends. So let me know if I've summarized that relationship well. I think I have, but I'm questioning that Muzi Sivia and Fisoguhle Ntuli share a relative, maybe a cousin, maybe an uncle, I don't know. But, or is it a brother to Fiso Ntuli? We don't know what the actual relationship is. Sizwe Zungu doesn't say, okay? Constable Zungu does not say. But we know his name. He is Nkazimulo Ntuli. Now, this might be a huge ask. But do you think Nkazimulo Ntuli can come to the stand and confirm this story? Why don't we have a statement from him? How come nobody has ever mentioned this guy? Did the brigadier investigate this weapon carrying relative who's in the streets of Tembisa at 7 in the morning wielding a firearm, and then proceeds to point it at a whole constable? And then the constable, this is where the Nganegwane for me gets really, really interesting. And then the constable runs away through people's yards until he gets to his home. Did the brigadier do a local... Why do I keep forgetting this word? Did the brigadier go over there and see how Constable Zungu was able to make his way from the spaza shop all the way to his house, or near the spaza shop, or near his house after the firearm was pointed at him, how he managed to, evade this silver brown Corolla and its occupants? And those occupants never left the car. They just stayed in there. They never chased after him. They just said, okay, let him do the jump operation. And they drove off, according to the statement. And then Zungu went into his house because he wasn't carrying his service pistol. He took his service pistol and now he was ready to attack 3 Nkabis from Nongoma all by himself. I'm just repeating this with where I have questions, and I want to hear from you what you think. This to me sounds like Nganegwane, but you know what's missing from the story? Is were there other people on the street? Were there witnesses? You know how at the Spaza house there were many people suddenly at night. But since this was 7 in the morning, there must have been witnesses that can corroborate this story. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But Shalolo proceeds, okay? And then she says, okay, I hear your chat. So because Constable Zungu could identify Gazimulo Ntuli, did he report this matter to the police? And that's where we are. So let's continue listening on.
Okay. My question to you, Brigadier, is that did you ask Constable Zungu if he reported this matter to the police because he was being pointed out by the firearm by the person whom he was able to identify as Nkazimulo Ntuli?
My lord, so when this incident happened, he did phone me then on the 18th to inform me of such, because it was just a day after he brought his father to our office for the obtaining of this father statement. And I asked him then, my lord, I advised him to go and open a case at the local police station since he knows the suspects, so that the matter can be investigated. Yes, that's how it went, my lord. And I said, should he have challenges or need further assistance, he can then advise me accordingly.
Do you know if the case, do you know if he eventually opened the case as per your advice?
No, I don't know that, my lord.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you, Brigadier. I'm done with that statement. And then let's move on to statement number A173. It's the statement of Mlungisi Edward Hlophe.
So, did Zungu open the statement? Yes or not? We don't know. Why wouldn't the brigadier follow up on this? I mean, this is his lead star witness. Why wouldn't he make sure that he's okay, he's safe, go in and check, investigate, then done is, or assign somebody? I mean, he is a top ranking brigadier. I'm sure he could have done a lot more for Zungu. I mean, Zungu has brought Absalom to him and handed him on a silver platter, and Absalom Zungu wrote the statement that, you know, in later days will soon convict and solve in quotations this Senzo Meyiwa crime. But you know what? I digress. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. But you know what else I want to know? The next clip is going to be about Mlungisi Edward Hlophe. This is Senzo Meyiwa's brother-in-law, his sister's husband, about that call between him and Utumelo Madlala, or should I say the infamous call. And you know what? Let's do that in a whole separate video, because that conversation needs its own chat, because I have a lot to say there. It's going to be difficult for me to get through that video because I could feel myself getting very emotional while the trial was going on during this part. But yeah, let me pause here. Let me not get into it. Let me pause here. You know the house rules: like, comment, subscribe, and then everything there. Thank you. And I'll catch you on the next upload. I'll catch you definitely on my next upload.